Diablo 3 has been losing its player base, and it's not to Diablo 4. Let's talk about it. So I thought this was really interesting. So Diablo 3 came out around 13 years ago, and in the day that it came out, it broke like several records. I think it got like 3.5 million sales in the first 24 hours and 6.3 million in the first week, and also like almost 30 million in the first like 2 months of its release. I don't think people remember how big of a deal Diablo 3 was. And to this day, it's still a pretty solid game. It's one of the first games that I played on stream, and it's one of the first games that I built this channel upon. So it has like a special place in my heart. And Diablo 4 is also a great game. I bought it and I played it, and I have my complaints about it, but this is not a Diablo 4 dunking on video, so I'm not gonna go too much into that. For me, it just felt like a remaster almost of Diablo 3. Like I don't feel like it added enough stuff to be considered like a separate title. It just feels like reskinned, repurposed, cool, hip Diablo 3. Anyway, I'm not going to elaborate on that today. But the curious thing is that Diablo 3 is actually been losing players to Diablo 2 and not Diablo 4. A lot of people still consider Diablo 3 as the best of the franchise, even though Diablo 4 has been booming with player numbers. But in 2021, Diablo 2 got a remake called Diablo II Resurrected. I haven't played it, but it looks really pretty. Like, the graphics look amazing, and they added some stuff into Diablo 2 that there were not, like some features and stuff. They've had patches and updates ever since, and there's a pretty live player base right now. People are like leaving Diablo 3 to play Diablo 2. And I think that's awesome. I might actually take a look at it, because Diablo 2 is also a great game, even though Diablo 4 is still reigning with the number of player bases, because the seasons are active, they're pretty good. Blizzard promised one expansion a year, but they already backed down on that. If you've seen my BlizzCon video, you know a little bit about that. But they pushed the next expansion to 2026, but we had a pretty good expansion with the Vessel of Hatred. They have a really good retention because of that expansion, even though people have a lot to talk about the game and a lot to complain. Overall, all Diablo games are pretty good. I don't see any problem with them. I don't think that Diablo 4 is a bad game. I just think that Diablo 3 is better, and I've never played Diablo 2. Maybe Diablo 2 is better than both games. Who knows? I just thought that it was funny that Diablo 3 was losing players to a 25-year-old game that got like remade and remastered in 2021. I don't know. But yeah, maybe people are just missing the simplicity of the Diablo games, since there's been a couple of issues and drama with overlapping Diablo 3 and 4 seasons. Apparently Diablo 4 season came out at the same time as the Diablo 3 season, and that kind of sabotaged the numbers for Diablo 3. And people got really pissed about it, especially people in the esports and competitive spheres of Diablo games. So yeah, maybe people are just looking for the simplicity and the good feelings of just a good Diablo game. This is kind of a tangent, but if you didn't know, Diablo 3 and 4 still have ongoing seasons. I mean, Diablo 3 still has ongoing seasons. Diablo 4 is a current game, but they have different playstyles on the seasons. Diablo 3 being more close to a classic Diablo gameplay, and Diablo 4 being more experimental and cool and hip and has like new stuff to explore. But for some reason they released the new seasons at the same time, and that confused a lot of players and gave a lot of players very few time to enjoy both games, and that is a big issue, as you can tell. So Blizzard is actually moving to make sure that events will no longer overlap, so fans can like enjoy both seasons with due time and have fun, you know. So Blizzard's moving to make sure that events will no longer overlap, so fans can play as much as possible. They actually delayed the next season of Diablo 3 for a week, I believe, so that they can actually start doing this with a week difference between seasons. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if they didn't see that coming. Maybe they thought that Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 players were completely different communities, and they didn't realize that some people like play both games because both games have different play styles in the seasons. But they did apologize for that, and they already fixed the time schedule. So that was pretty fast in Blizzard standards. For public response, I guess. There's also been a lot of complaints about Diablo 4 being too easy, and Diablo 4 already recognized that because it was a pretty substantial complaint, and they're announcing that in 2025 the difficulty will be considerably increased. But yeah, this video ended up being just a bunch of mentioning a bunch of current Diablo news. But yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny that Diablo 2 was stealing Diablo 3's player base when we actually have an entire newer game going on. So yeah, that was kind of curious. I'm probably going to make a video talking about this whole Diablo 4 difficulty situation, and also maybe my opinions on Diablo 4 and why I think it's kind of a mid game compared to the other ones. Also, nothing wrong with Diablo 4, it's just kind of like not that much better than the other ones in my opinion, but I digress. We might play Diablo 2 in future live streams because it actually honestly looks pretty good, the remake, so I might be into that. So stay tuned. If you're not subscribed, I talk about a bunch of short and long gaming news and complain a lot about games here on YouTube, so feel free to subscribe. I do a bunch of gaming live streams. We've been playing a lot of Total War Warhammer 3 recently. And yeah, I hope you stick around. If you like this video, please leave a like. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me anything in the comments. Just tell me how your day was. I love answering comments and reading what you guys think. So yeah, I answer every single one. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.